My mom flew me home for the holidays, then left me with my sister's 4 kids. The first thing I heard after stepping off the 12-hour flight wasn't, "I missed you." It wasn't, "Welcome home." It was my sister shoving a diaper bag into my hands and saying, "Thank God you're here. Their snacks are in the blue container." Before I could even process what was happening, my mother kissed my cheek and said, "We'll be back in a few days." Then they walked out the front door, leaving me alone with 4 children I hadn't seen in 3 years. I wish I could tell you that was the worst part. It wasn't. Because 2 days later, I discovered the real reason they'd flown me home for Christmas. And it had nothing to do with family. My name is Sophie. I'm 32 years old, unmarried, and work as a pediatric nurse in Seattle. I loved my job. I loved my independence. But in my family? Those things didn't count. To my mother, I was the daughter who had all the free time. My older sister, Amanda, was the golden child. She had 4 kids. A husband. A house in the suburbs. Everything Mom considered success. Meanwhile, I was constantly reminded that I was selfish for not settling down. For years, I tolerated it. Then I stopped coming home for holidays. It hurt too much. So when Mom called me crying 2 months before Christmas, I softened. "I just want my girls together again," she whispered. "I don't know how many Christmases we'll have left." Guilt wrapped itself around my throat. "I'll come," I promised. Mom immediately offered to pay for my flight. I should have questioned it. She'd never paid for anything without strings attached. But I wanted to believe things had changed. I wanted my family back. When I arrived at my childhood home, the atmosphere felt strange. Amanda barely hugged me. Her husband, Derek, avoided eye contact. Mom seemed nervous. The kids, Emma, Noah, Lily, and Ben, clung to me instantly. "Aunt Sophie," they screamed. For a moment, I felt hopeful. Maybe this trip would heal old wounds. Then Amanda checked her watch. "We should get going." "Going where?" Mom avoided my eyes. "Oh, just, some things came up." Amanda handed me a schedule. School pickups. Meal plans. Bedtimes. My stomach dropped. "What is this?" Amanda blinked. "You'll manage." I laughed nervously. "Okay." Very funny. Nobody laughed. Then Mom grabbed her suitcase. "We'll be back after Christmas." My chest tightened. "What? You don't mind helping family, right?" Amanda snapped. "You don't even have kids." And just like that, they left. I stood frozen in the doorway. 4 children stared at me. Ben tugged my sleeve. "Are you leaving too?" I swallowed hard. No. Because despite everything, those kids didn't deserve abandonment. The next 48 hours were chaos. Lily had nightmares. Noah refused vegetables. Emma developed a fever. Ben cried every night for his mother. I barely slept. Meanwhile, Amanda ignored my texts. Mom sent vague responses. "Everything okay? Thanks for helping." No explanations. No return date. I felt used. Humiliated. Furious. Then twist number 1 happened. While searching for children's medication in Amanda's office, I stumbled across paperwork. Legal paperwork. At first, I ignored it. Then I saw my name. My hand started shaking. It was guardianship documentation. Temporary guardianship. Signed weeks earlier. My signature line remained blank. I couldn't breathe. Had they planned this? I called Amanda immediately. No answer. I called Mom. Straight to voicemail. For the first time, I panicked. That evening, Emma quietly entered the kitchen. "Mommy cries a lot now." I looked down. What do you mean? Emma hesitated. I heard Grandma say Daddy might go away. The room spun. What? Emma twisted her pajama sleeve. They thought I was sleeping. Suddenly, none of this made sense. Why lie? Why disappear? What weren't they telling me? Twist number 2 came the following morning. Derek appeared at the front door. Alone. Exhausted. His eyes were bloodshot. Where's Amanda? I demanded. He sat down heavily. She checked herself into a treatment center. I stared at him. What? Derek buried his face in his hands. Prescription medication. The words barely registered. Amanda? The organized mother of 4? The woman Mom constantly praised? She'd been hiding it for years, Derek whispered. Mom helped cover for her. Suddenly, my anger collided with heartbreak. Amanda hadn't abandoned her children for a vacation. She'd entered rehab. Mom had hidden the truth. But why lie to me? Because the biggest twist was still coming. That night, Mom finally returned. Alone. I exploded. You tricked me. Tears streamed down her face. I didn't know what else to do. You lied. I was trying to save Amanda. What about me? I shouted. You dumped 4 children on me without consent. Mom collapsed into a chair. I knew you'd say no. I froze. Because she wasn't wrong. I would have said no. Not because I didn't love the children. But because trust requires honesty. And she'd chosen manipulation. Again. For years, I'd lived under one family rule. Sophie will handle it. Need money? Ask Sophie. Need emotional support? Call Sophie. Need childcare? Manipulate Sophie. I was reliable. Responsible. Convenient. But never prioritized. Never protected. Never chosen. I finally said what I'd spent years swallowing. You don't love me for who I am. Mom looked horrified. Of course I do. No. You love what I do for everyone else. Silence filled the room. Painful. Heavy. True. The climax came on Christmas Eve. Amanda requested a video call from rehab. She looked fragile. Nothing like the sister I'd known. I hate you, I admitted softly. She nodded. I know. I needed you. I know. You let Mom turn me into your backup parent. Amanda broke down crying. I was drowning. For the first time in years. She wasn't the golden child. She was just human. Broken. Ashamed. Terrified. I don't know how to fix this, she whispered. I looked toward the children decorating cookies nearby. You start by telling the truth. Then came karma. Not cruel karma. Necessary karma. Mom finally faced consequences. Amanda stopped allowing her to manage family decisions alone. Derek established boundaries. Family therapy began. And for the first time in decades, Mom had to confront the role she'd played. The favoritism. The manipulation. The guilt. The expectation that one daughter should sacrifice everything for everyone else. Therapy wasn't magical. Healing wasn't immediate. But accountability had entered the room. Amanda completed treatment 8 months later. Recovery wasn't perfect. Some days were awful. Others were hopeful. But she showed up. For herself. For her children. For me. One afternoon, she handed me an envelope. Inside was reimbursement for every expense I'd covered during those weeks. Along with a handwritten note. Thank you for protecting my children when I couldn't. I'm sorry it came at your expense. I cried harder reading that letter than I had all Christmas. Because accountability changes everything. Today, I still love my family. But love without boundaries isn't love. It's obligation. I still help when I choose to. I still adore my nieces and nephews. But I no longer sacrifice myself to earn a place at the table. Because here's what nobody tells you about being the reliable one. People become so accustomed to your strength. They stop noticing your pain. Until one day, you stop carrying everyone else's burdens. And they finally learn how heavy those burdens truly were. My mom flew me home for the holidays. Then left me with my sister's 4 kids. At first, I thought it was betrayal. Maybe it was. But it also exposed truths we'd spent years avoiding. Families aren't strengthened through secrets. They aren't healed through guilt. And being needed isn't the same thing as being loved. That Christmas didn't give me the reunion I'd hoped for. It gave me something far more valuable. The courage to stop abandoning myself just to keep everyone else comfortable. And honestly, that was the greatest gift I ever received.